Hello and welcome to Electric Guitar Review. My name's Ben Morgan Brown and you've just been watching Jace Morris demonstrating the BigKat from JPG. JPG is Josh Parkin Guitars, a luthier with experience of working on the infamous Denmark Street in London, who was for some time based in Japan and is now building custom and semi-custom guitars from his workshop in York, England. This particular BigKat we have for review features a two-piece alder body with a bolt-on plain European maple neck with an Indian rosewood fingerboard. The scale length is 25.5 inches, the fretboard has a 12-inch radius and the neck profile is described as a 59 LP. Pickups are hand-wound by Josh himself and this guitar features two Good Boy P90s in the neck and middle position and a clipper humbucker in the bridge. A 5-way selector wired like a modern S-style guitar and a master volume and neck and middle tone complete the electronics, and the guitar also features a hip-shot fixed bridge and hip-shot grip lock locking tuners. Finished in a super thin nitrocellulose, the BigKat ships with a Hiscox case and this particular guitar is priced at £2,130. For this review, Jace is playing through a Fender Twin reissue and a Marshall JCM800, so let's have another listen to some playing now and then please join me afterwards for my thoughts. What first grabbed me about the BigKat was the body shape. It's unique but with a classic look to it too. It's almost like a Firebird and a Jaguar crossbreed, but there's also hints of some retro Japanese guitars in there as well. We're so accustomed to the usual body styles that sometimes new designs can look a bit out of place, but I think Josh has done a great job of coming up with something new that's not radical for radical's sake. The build and finish quality are of a high standard. The finish in particular is very nicely done with no areas of sinkage, which is hard to do with a thin nitro finish. There's a couple of aesthetic choices I'm not 100% sure about. I think a set of more elegant string trees and some sleeker machine heads might improve the headstock area, but otherwise I think it's a very cool looking and well made guitar, and I love the attention to detail around the neck joint, which looks almost impossibly tight for a bolt-on neck. Moving on to the tone, well, I have to say that the neck P90 on this guitar is one of the best sounding I've ever heard. It's thick, meaty and chewy, but it doesn't flub out and it remains articulate. It sounds lovely and warm on clean sounds and takes crunchy gain and saturated lead tones in its stride. A great pickup. The middle position is more of the same but with a little bit more bite. I'd love to hear a classic 2P90 guitar with these pickups in it in order to hear what this P90 can do in the bridge position. Together, the two P90s give you some of that classic S style in between quack tone on clean sounds, but with more meat on the bone, and overdriven that there's a pleasant honky stroke cocked wah element to the tone. Moving to the bridge humbucker is a different experience. On clean sounds, I found it a little bright in comparison, and the lack of tone control for this position meant that I couldn't just back off a little bit to tame this. Kicking in some overdrive though, and the bridge pickup seems more at home, with lots of pick dynamics coming through with a slightly brash attitude compared to the smoother P90 sounds. Overall, it's a versatile and pleasing combination of pickups, and they all react very well to playing dynamics and rolling off the volume. I just wish there was a tone control on the bridge pickup for cleaner tones. When it comes to playability, the 12-inch radius and super low action make the guitar feel pretty effortless. If anything, for my personal tastes, I could do with a slightly higher action, which is not something I say very often. The neck profile is very comfortable, as is the satin finish, but I did find that the relatively shallow neck angle meant the strings sit very close to the guitar's face, and I found the pickups got in the way of my picking hand. It's almost certainly a case of personal preference, but I think a slightly steeper neck angle and slightly higher action would give me more room to dig in and would benefit the playability. The offset body sits very comfortably on the lap and on a strap, but I did find it felt as if the nut was quite far away when I had the guitar in my lap, but it was fine on the strap, particularly if I had it sitting a little lower than usual. At £2,130, this guitar is very attractively priced compared to custom shop options from some of the larger brands, particularly when you take into account the hand-wound pickups, excellent build quality, and that Josh Parkin is building the guitar entirely himself. It can be tempting sometimes to stick with the well-known brands and tried and tested formulas, but I think what the JPG BigKat shows is that if you're prepared to try something a bit different, you can get a hell of a lot of guitar for not insane amounts of money. Josh Parkin and his JPG guitars are new to me, but judging by this instrument, soon they'll be spoken about alongside the small band of elite and well-respected luthiers making excellent guitars in the UK. I hope you've enjoyed this video from Electric Guitar Review. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon to be kept up to date when we post new videos, and Jason and I look forward to seeing you next time.